A very pleasant morning to all the viewers and those listening via radio around the globe in the many time zones. For that purpose, I must say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are. You're logged on to WinFM 98.9. It's Friday, January 3rd, and the very first Friday for 2025. And guess you're in the right place at the right time. My name is Socrates, host of today's presentation of Voices. I have a long list of folks I've got to, acknowledge and send greetings to. But in the meantime, we firstly head downtown and give credit to our sponsors, without whom this program would not be possible. So we'll continue our little dialogue after we acknowledge our sponsors.
I want this and this. Oh, can I have?
Sure, we have an extra $600 from Flo. You can have everything you want.
Get it all with the gift of a free $600 MasterCard cash card. 2 free smartphones and free installation when you bundle Flo Mobile and Internet. That's the gift of free times 3. Get it all this Christmas at Flo. Bundle in store or online at discoverflo.co today.
Merry Christmas!
Need to get your goods to St. Kitts and Nevis? Look no further. TDC Shipping has you covered with reliable cargo solutions by land, air, and sea. Whether it's a package from across the world or a large shipment of goods, TDC Shipping makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free. And with our Airbox service, ordering from your favorite online stores just got even easier. Ship straight to your mailbox and let TDC Shipping handle the rest. Fast, secure, and even to your door. Visit us today at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Park or Penny's Industrial Site, or call 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis. TDC Shipping, where reliable service meets unbeatable convenience. TDC, together we succeed.
Feel the magic happening.
Campari.
Taste.
Something incredible happens when Campari is mixed just right. Like Campari and orange juice poured over ice. Taste it. Try it tonight. Bitter, sweeter, better. Campari. Must be 18 years and older. Drink responsibly.
Once again, good morning and welcome back to today's presentation of Voices. Of course, you're logged on to WinFM 98.9, and we want to start by acknowledging the fact that we are into a brand new year. As a matter of fact, it's my first presentation for 2025. It's Friday, the 3rd day of January. And so let's reach out to our folks out there, right? And send New Year's greetings to each and every one of you logged on to WinFM. I want to start with Jennifer Richards. She's up in New York City. Also, Miss Rosemary Donald, Monifa, Maya, Savannah, Hassan, and Joey up there also in New York City. Mr. Eustace Hendrickson, Dr. Mervyn Leader, Dr. King Irvin Sweeney, and we're going to talk about King Sweeney later on in the program. We have their friend of the Federation, Miss Brenda O'Neill. From over in Anguilla, we send happy birthday greetings to Amber, Zara, Cleo, and husband, which is the daddy, of course. Then at home, we have Beulah, Sister Sylvian Henry, Carl Brown, Gregory, Africa, Mr. Valmonition family, culture, and from the studios of WinFM, we want to wish each and every one of you the very best for 2025 and beyond. Just want to say that without you, this program would not be possible. You're one of our many ardent supporters. Thank you for supporting us over the many years. And as we hope to go forward for 2025 and beyond. So in a brand new year, and I would like to even open the lines as soon as possible and invite people to make whatever contribution we want to start on and continue on a positive note. Nothing negative. Things happen, of course. Is all part of life, but we want to start and we want to continue in a very positive vein. I mentioned Dr. Sweeney a while ago, the King Irving Sweeney. And of course, Jamster and I are going to get into a little chit-chat about the Carnival results and our take on the various events. Because yesterday was last lap. I am told that today is a half holiday. We expect some bands out there on the road, a little more, post-carnival activities. That's where we wrap things up. But we take it from there. So here we go now. The Lions Club are in for congratulations. I'm going to pinpoint the Assegai in the person of Ms. Charmaine Pemberton. When I say Assegai, she was the tip of the spear in this particular venture. She put on what some folks miss, one of the best Calypso presentation for a very long time. As a matter of fact, it's been described as historic. A lot of folks would have met me on the following day and, we heard about the show. It was great. We missed it. Yeah, you did. It was well marketed. It was held on the evening of the 30th of December on a Monday night. Every seat in the house was taken. And I think, I don't know if you're going to get, but every seat in the house was taken. There were some hiccups that presented the day before. So there was a mad scramble to get the sound system and all that in place because according to Charmaine, we are not going to cancel. We are going to go forward. So I came on and I apologized to the audience for the late start. We started about 45 minutes late, given the challenges that we had to surmount. We started about 45 minutes late. And from the first person on stage in the form of Papa George. You know Papa George? Quite in pension, the former director of culture. He sang his all-time classic, "There is no El Dorado out there." To me, the tempo was a bit slow because it's got so much, to unpack. And he was right. Speaking about the folks who leave SKN and go out there looking for gold. And one of the lines was, while we out there suffering in the cold, foreigners coming here finding gold. Great presentation. And we had a little thing backstage as to who should go on next. I said, you know what? Let me go on. So I went on and I dropped Killer on the Road. I'm telling you, the lineup was awesome. There were some folks who did not present. They were contacted, even Calypsonians from Nevis. So let it not be said that it was not an effort to include everyone. It just so happens that persons did not present. So we had Mark the First. And he was awesome. A lot of folks who saw him back then, seen him on that night, were in for a treat. He was just awesome. One of his big songs was Family. And then they did a medley between Sweeney, Pharaoh, Kinter, and Mark the First. Come forward, Lily Shang Shang Dong. It was awesome. So we had Mark the First, we had Kinter, Queen singing Jackie. And she was resplendent, and she spoke about the fact that this is the year of her 50th contribution to the development of Calypso. And she was, as a matter of fact, I did a tribute for her, so I came on stage afterwards and paid her tribute in song. The MC was King Dahomey. I presented him as King Dahomey. Do you know who's King Dahomey? Junior Liebert. And he actually sang one of the songs from back in the day when he was on the campus in college, university. And people were, really? He was a Calypsonian. And he was just good. Well, Sharp Hands came on later on. So it was, it was shared by them. And King Sweeney sang some classics, did a great presentation. And then he invited Mark I, Pharaoh, and the others to come on stage in a medley of songs. I mean, people are saying we need to have this caliber of show more often. I'm thinking the production cost that went into that, they probably broke even. Because production that they cost, the lighting, the staging, the chairs, the bands, etc., it's a pretty penny. I can only hope that for future ventures we get more sponsors on board to make it happen, because this is needed. This was on the heels of the National Calypso competition, where they merged a young, dynamic monarch. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be here this morning, but he has no voice. He said to me, I lost my voice wailing on the road. And so he was also on the ticket. But the guest performer was King Shortshirt. And he has a fan base that really came out to support and sing along with the song. So it was a beautiful night. So I want to say congratulations to Miss Charmaine Pemberton and the Lions Club. The president was there, former politician, Mr. Cedric Liebert. He's now the current president of the Lions Club. For the initiative, the production that they put in place. I don't know what to say. This is needed. And people were saying that we need to see more of these songs. Because when Fonzie came on, Fonzie said that this was touching. His last son, is 23 years old. He's heard about his father singing, all the fame, blah, 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 blah. He has never seen his father perform. So this is the first time his son would be there, live at the show, to see his father perform. His son is 23 years old. And the young man had his phone and he recorded. Fonzie was a classic. I mean, boat riding, wood for sale, king without a crown. You know what? When he did wood for sale, that was the first song. You're treated. You're actually treated to some serious talent, creative writing and delivery. The top songwriters in the Federation, we're still here. We're still here. And I sat in the audience and said, boy, the man still have it. Then he brought boat riding. The audience be familiar with it. They were treated. I can keep saying congratulations to the Lions for putting on such a production. It's got to be done again. I mean, she was here prior to the show, and I'm glad that Win FM was part of, the marketing for that. But really, 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 And you may think, well, people were fatigued from all the other carnival events. People of our ilk came out. And I was questioning when I went on stage if there was anyone here under 35, because Kill on the Road is 36 years old. Kill on the Road is 36 years old. And there was nobody there under 35. So we appreciate the opportunity for that. The Legends Band, of course, was the house band, and I have to compliment them, as others did, of doing a great job, looking resplendent in the yellow. And so we see the youth, the future of Calypso is still very secure. But with the old people still here, man. We're still here. I don't want to ask you, put you in the spot, but were you there? You weren't there. Have you seen any of the clips?
I haven't. No,
you haven't.
But I'm going to try and get the recording.
I've seen a few.
Ricky,
that'd be great. Ricky McCall, he did. Yeah,
he recorded. So I was supposed to call him about that, because there are no really good recordings, live recordings of a lot of those songs, or at least easily accessible.
Okay. You would like to get that, all the various segments, but I think Fancy, and one of the reasons why he backed out, we had issues a few weeks ago where there was the perception that there was an attempt to muzzle the Calypsonians, and I made reference to the time when that happened to him under former Minister of Culture when he left the stage, because they tried to force on him a contract that on the night of the show about the content of his songs, and he actually left. And from that time, he hasn't competed. Some 23 years ago, based on the fact that his son is 20. No, he says it was along before that.
How come you never asked him to play bass for Legends?
Fancy used to be a bass player.
I know. That's why I asked.
But it's hard to play and sing.
No, I mean play bass for the band.
For the band?
For Legends.
I have a new bass player.
I know, but I mean, how is it you never asked him
Well,
before?
okay, here's what. It was a rough time of the year for rehearsals. We had 2 players from Legends, 4 actually, playing with the Grandmasters for the National Calypso competition. So they had to split their time throughout the day, go to rehearse for the Monarch show, come to the Legends Band house. Fancy now works in the tourism industry. His time is not predictable. You have to go, So even though he's got the capability, I have a new, young, dynamic bass player who was happy. And he actually called me, he said, Socrates, thanks for the opportunity. You know what I mean? Guy's eager. So you don't really...
Oh, is that the guy that was playing?
Yes.
Okay.
He's an educator over at the Keon High School. And he's eager. He wants to be part of it, so you don't do that. Right? But it was awesome. We've got about 80 minutes down past the 11 o'clock hour. And I think it's due that we give a little credit to our sponsors. And we'll be right back. Okay?
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Tis the season to shop and win. Ram Supermarket, let the fun begin. Each week, 3 winners. Oh, what a thrill! 500 cash to pay your Christmas bill. Ram Supermarket, bring you cash for Christmas. Shop at any of our supermarkets or cash and carry, and each week 3 lucky shoppers will win 500 in cash. Shop and win. It's the season of cheer. Ram Supermarket, spreading joy all year. The good food people making spirits bright. With cash for Christmas, your holidays just right. Ram Supermarket, the good food people. Shop today and win big this Christmas.
Tis the season of Christmas. We feeling festive for so. So you get 2 free smartphones when you sign up for a family postpaid plan with Flow. Choose a family essential plan and get 30 gigabytes of data. The family plus plan and get 45 gigabytes of data. Or the family max plan and get a whopping 60 gigabytes of data. With any family plan, you get 2 Samsung smartphones free. Get it all this Christmas at Flow. Sign up in store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. www.shoptdcgroup.com.
To pour into a student, show me a better plan in this blessed land for all their children. Let them wrap me up and say, we deserve a new deal. Whoa. Listen to what I have to say.
We have, in the person of Chadwick Druzy, they call him Druzy, a young, dynamic Calypso monarch. And sometimes you're in the Federation, you don't know what's going on, and the Calypsonian brings a topic and informs and educates you. I heard the song in the Calypso tents during the elimination. Music is great. You know what I mean? Orchestration, all that, and he performs very well. But I didn't really understand the foundation of the song. Yesterday, I'm cutting grass in Sunday Point, and I don't. Hey, Socrates, how are we doing? So I went and we had quite a conversation. She is an educator, and over the conversation, she explained to me that when the government was changed, and the new Minister of Education addressed all the teachers, they were wined and dined at the Marriott. And he said to them, this is a new deal, right? We no longer have to meet in the church because whatever church they used to meet before is not big enough to host, so they took him to Marriott. And his words were, based on what she told me, that this is a new deal. And this is promise, and that is promise, and that is promise. So out of that now, she let me to know the foundation of the song. He is a teacher, and all that was promised to them was not delivered on what they're going through. So he's now challenging, he was then in that song, challenging the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Education, that we need a new deal. And so he had all the teachers there, well, in the park. I mean, there were lots of them there. With their placards, they came prepared, and he was making a statement. Apart from taking on big lies, he threw some pick on big lies because apparently, based on what he was saying, big lies would have caused some aspersions on his sexuality. So, and he was good. With the ad lib, he was good. So, definitely, I've been asked by many persons, what do I think? Being there, witnessing the show, he won fairly and squarely. Big Lies didn't have a chance. I said prior to that this would have been Big Lies' best chance of capturing the monarchy. You know? And there were people from Keon saying they're going to Keon tonight and this and that. You know who we are. Nana from Dumpling younger sister lives in Nevis. They're going to Keon tonight and this and that. So it was a great atmosphere for Calypso night, Calypso fans watching the show. His first round was okay to me. We're talking about the Monarch. Big Lies would have scored, in my opinion, the highest points in the first round. So whereas he would have impressed everyone in the first round that they're going to carry on tonight, Big Lies. The guy was okay. He was good, but he was okay. In the second round, it was somewhat reverse. He was exceptional, and Big Lies was okay. But to the point, he was able to bring that, I won't say entourage, but he got everybody in the audience excited and sing along. So even though not everyone would have been familiar with the song's content, they got it. He was electrifying. He was dynamic. And I'm saying, well, Socrates, boy, you got competition. As a matter of fact, my friend said to me, he's a goating yourself this year. Because, so I wanted to publicly, like we spoke, I gave him his congrats. And he did ask, could he appear on the show on Sunday night? I said yes. And he came. And because the show went long, it did go long. Short Shirt, being in his 80s, they asked that he come on next, so we had to bring him on, respect that he was a guest performer. You don't bring on another artist after the guest performer. And the monarch was asking me, should he leave? I said, hold on. You've put in all the time here when we get you on. So after short of this thing, he was on for some time, and people asked him for some of the, the standards. He kept singing them. And so eventually he came on, Tariq, and did a song. So it was a night of monarchs, current and former, legends, etc. It was just awesome. But that song, having been explained, the lady explained to me what it was all about. You see, Calypso? So I think the politicians who were there, who were not, I think the message is saying, you need to listen to us. You need to listen to us. I won't mind if you play the track, because a lot of folks, they don't really into Carnival, but we have a fan base that's global. If you don't mind and you can play the track for us, the song of the Winning Monarch, Winning a New Deal, that'd be great.
Listen, school children say teachers working hard for nuts pay. We hand to mouth to hammer show up each day. Trying so hard to make an end, they can't even mark with a proper pen. Is this a life of respectful men, or is it life of an moped? Don't get me wrong, this is just a song. Miss Selena say, on up and lady, all is done. We need a new deal to give our teachers confidence. We need a new deal to pour into our students. Show me a better plan in this blessed land for all their children. Let them wrap me up and say, we deserve a new deal. Listen to what I have to say. To build a strong house, you have to start from the ground. Hand filled with dirt, face full of sweat, no easy way around. So brick on brick, we take our time to construct solid and stable mind. Materials and skills seems yes to find. Good work are meant find tools to prime. You might say I'm wrong, but I'm putting it in song. Use the tools for schools and not to build up prisons. We need a new deal to help us school with maintenance. We need a new deal to train our children competent. Show me a better plan in this better land for our dear children. Let them wrap me up and say, we deserve a new deal. Dear mom and dad, we need some effort from you. When time comes.
Hey, I'm starting to do a little discussion about the song. And one of the things he said, as a Calypso judge, he would have given the guy extra points because of the topic. It's not the usual run-of-the-mill child abuse, deadbeat dad. There's, something different, fresh, with a new angle, and you have to regard that. So I am agreeing with you. Now we let's do a little review on a couple of songs that in my estimation probably yours that should we have a call? Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Go to the caller, you're live on Voices.
In my estimation probably yours that should we have a call? Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Go to the caller, you're live on Voices.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on Voices.
Yes. Good day, Socrates, and good day, Jamster, and a blessed New Year to you all. And And I still wish you all a blessed Merry Christmas because Christmas ends January the 6th.
Okay.
We are still in the 12 days of Christmas.
Okay.
So,
well, to you, I'm glad you're celebrating. So, welcome back to the program. I sent you a greeting this morning. Educate us. Speak to us.
yes. Well, probably might make people more mad than anything else.
Gregory, what is that on a good note? Positive vibes. Let's hear you.
Well, the truth always make people mad. When a lot of times make people mad and angry. Now, first of all, I would like to say that based upon the Bible, because a Christian, I only see things through the lens of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I don't mention the Bible, it is in the background and context of what I say. What I say. Now, where Carnival and so entertainment and so is concerned, all of those things should be privatized because these things are not the God-given duties of government, based on what the Bible says. These things should be privatized, and it is because of government investment in these things is one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why life is so hard. Prices are so high and that sort of stuff. Because government have to find back the money that it's spent on Carnival and also music fest and all the other entertainments, Culturama, you name them all. And while we jump up, while people jump up and feel festive and that sort of stuff, the reality of the issue is that you're going to have to find the government going to have to find the money to pay back for these things, and we are the one who's going to end up footing the bill. And when the prices go up and life gets harder and harder, we cry out and we bawl. This is the end result of government spending. Now, I believe things must be worse than what they say, and I'm going to say that. I don't trust. I think when government gives the figures, I think they are much worse than what they really are. And the reason why I say that is this. For example, when the IMF come here, for example, Inland Revenue have a history of hiding negative information from the IMF people. And it made me question, is it just Inland Revenue is doing that? Other government departments doing the same thing as well, in hiding certain negative information from IMF personnel and other people.
Don't they have access to audits? How do you change your audits?
Yeah, they have access, but it's why you present them. You know, it's why you present them. You know, you may present them a list, but the real one is hidden. You may present them some information, but you ain't presenting all of it to them. You know. And so, yes, I know, for example, Inland Revenue have a history of hiding some negative information from IMF officials when they come here.
In the damn business, as far as
to check the information. And I'm wondering, other government departments doing the same thing to some officials when they come here. And so I think when government gives the figures, it's much worse than what it really is. And that being the case, we are in a deeper hole than what we really think we are in. And so because of that, all these are reasons, among other reasons, why life is so hard, prices going that sort of stuff.
From where you sit, Gregory, is the glasses half empty or half full?
Well, the glass, I will more look at it as the glass half empty, and it's becoming more and more empty.
Have we been through rougher times before? Are we a resilient people who have overcome harder times, and is still trending forward positively?
Maybe the 70s probably might have been rougher time. I don't know, but I know that over the decades things have been getting worse and worse and worse. And I think.
But isn't that predicted in the Bible?
They have ever been. Hello?
Isn't that predicted in Gregory's Bible, in the Bible?
No, not really. No, not really. Because people love to say that the Bible said in the last days this gonna be and that gonna be, but the last days were for AD 70 at the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. We are living in post last days. The last days was concerning the destruction.
So then, are we in
of the old covenant in its physical form? That was the last day, which ended in AD 70 in Jerusalem at the destruction of the temple.
So are we now in the dispensation of grace?
Well, from the time Adam sinned, we have always been in the dispensation of grace because man has always been saved by grace alone, through faith alone, based upon the word of God alone. So from the time Adam sinned, we are always living in the dispensation of grace.
You may be more informed than I am, but from where you sit, my glass is half full.
Well, unless we repent and start to do things according to the Bible, more and more of whatever is in the glass,
we got to be optimistic, Gregory.
It's going to come out of it.
We as a people, knowing where we've come from, have to be more optimistic than pessimistic. You're going to have problems, challenges every single day. Now, there's some people who are drinking from the sources because their cup is overflowing. That's going to happen. But generally, from my state of mind, my glass is half full.
Well, again, without if you are doing things on the wrong principles, if you're doing things and principles that are destructive, whether you see your glass empty, yes or not, you're still going down the road of destruction.
Let me ask a question.
Things worse and worse.
Do you recall in the 60s, 70s, early 80s, when migration was our pattern? We migrated because things were so bad at home. We thrive on a monoculture of sugar, and people migrated. People with skills, with education, more ambition, migrated. Do you recall when that trend was halted and people started coming back home to invest and did not even recognize the transformation that St. Kitts became? We have been through rough times, man. And we're good. You're going to have good government management, some not as well, but we're doing well. The country, my glass is half full.
No, we are not doing well. We are definitely not doing well.
Things ain't going well.
No, we are definitely things are not going. Things are going.
And the carnival and the imagery that we saw over the last couple of days still going well.
No, because government inflation has been going up and up. As a matter of fact, government inflation is more than the growth of the economy.
GDP?
Just the other day, I was looking at some numbers on the internet concerning our inflation situation and economic growth, and government inflation is much more than our economic growth.
So, what are your projections for a fiscal year? Next fiscal year. What are your projections? What are your economic projections for next fiscal year?
Things are going to get worse and worse. Things are definitely not going well, and they're going to get worse and worse. Our inflation rate is very high. That is not reflective of a strong economy. That is reflective of a very weak economy.
So, should we cancel music festival?
No, what I'm saying is that these things should be privatized.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. These things should be privatized because they are a drain on the treasury. And not only are they a drain on the treasury, when the government had to put these heavy tax on us and that sort of stuff, it's going to weaken the economy even more.
Did the budget reflect increased taxation?
Did the budget reflect increased taxation?
Yeah.
Yes, because, no, it does not reflect increased taxation as yet, but what it reflects more and more government spending. And sooner or later, you have to recover those money through taxation, higher taxation. But let me say this. When your economy is weak, when your economy is getting worse and worse because of increasing inflation and that sort of stuff, more and more people are dying quicker and quicker.
Really?
We are not talking about something that is harmless. A weakened economy is not a harmless thing. A weakened economy is a very deadly thing because it causes people to die quicker and quicker because life is getting harder and harder. That's why the economy is weak.
Gregory, this morning I went and picked some pomegranate. I picked some guava. I picked some pomegranate. And I was marveling at the fact that here in St. Kitts Nevis region, we can live that way. You don't have to buy all the things. I broke, but I'm happy. It's all in the Mentos. So economy weak or not is how we live our life. You adapt and move forward.
No, but the economy being weak mean that you could afford less and less.
Well, pick a breadfruit.
You need a well-rounded diet, not just pomegranate. You need a well-rounded diet.
Papaya. I have aloes in my yard. Yeah, you know what I mean? We have to get the mindset that the glass is half full. Economies will go back and forth, but listen, as a people, we have to have that mentality that we have to remain optimistic.
No, but what I'm saying, remember the pomegranates also have their seasons. What about when they're out of season?
Pick sauce up.
What about when the sauce up are out of season?
Mango.
You see, but you see, you need more than just sauce up. You need all kind of fruits.
Get a fishing line, go catch a fish.
But mango out of season. What about when they're out of season? What I am saying is that you need more than one or two fruits. We need fruits, knocking dog all year round of all sorts, and not just fruits. You need proper diet with meat. You need, for example, cooking with extra virgin olive oils. You need to be able to go to be able to afford your medicine. You need proper checkup, which a lot of people don't go because they ain't got the money. You need a lot of stuff that people just can't afford.
So your outlook, your projections for 2025 for the people of SKN is what?
For the people, well, it's very poor. It's very bad. Let me say this. Let me say this. I want to say this very quickly. For example, Argentina, who elected year before last December, Javier Milei, he went in government and he took over from a government that was doing things like us. He took over from a government that believed in providing this for the people, providing that for the people, running up deficits, running up the national debt, running up government expense, all sort of stuff. And Javier Milei went in since year before last December. And he started to do some things that I don't speak about that government need to do. For example, he started to close certain government departments. He started to cut government spending, that sort of stuff. And you know what happened today? Today, for the first, in Javier Milei presidency over Argentina, for the first time in many, many years, the country has seen a budget surplus.
Surplus.
The country, the budget surplus. The poverty rate is less than when he went in.
So you're recommending that the current administration take a page out of the book?
He has doing many things that the current administration would do well to take a page out of his book. I'm not saying he has done everything that I said. I'm not saying he's perfect because he has done one or two things that I totally disagree with. And I think he needs to do other things that will speed up economic progress in his country of Argentina. But he is far better than what was there before. And what was there before is doing what our government now is doing, and which is very bad for the economy.
So you recommend that model of leadership?
Hello?
You recommend that model of leadership for SKN?
I recommend certain things that he is doing that I have been speaking about that will be very helpful for our economy as well.
Okay.
During his time, homelessness decreased a lot because he deregulated rent controls and that sort of stuff. And instead of homelessness increase, as many people arguing that's going to happen, it decreased a whole lot.
Okay.
Because more people came unseen with housing for rent and that sort of stuff. And the price of rent went down because of so many more people investing in housing for rent. The price, through competition, actually has gone down and has decreased a whole lot, homelessness, and a lot of other positive things.
You're a concerned
being seen
citizen
in Argentina.
You're a concerned citizen. You're not exactly predicting gloom and doom for our people, but I appreciate your contribution. Your concerns will continue to have these debates, right?
Socrates, once we're going against the Bible, there's nothing but gloom and doom.
I hear you.
Yes.
All right.
And we are going against the Bible.
First Friday in 2025, and we're hearing from Gregory. Okay, it's gone. We have time for a break right now, and we want to play the song by Freddie. Great songs when we come back. So downtown and back.
Found the sound 98.9.
I want this and this. Oh, can I have?
Sure, we have an extra $600 from Flow. You can have everything you want.
Get it all with the gift of a free $600 MasterCard cash card. 2 free smartphones and free installation when you bundle Flow Mobile and Internet. That's the gift of free times 3. Get it all this Christmas at Flow. Bundle in store or online at discoverflow.co today.
Merry Christmas!
Need to get your goods to St. Kitts and Nevis? Look no further. TDC Shipping has you covered with reliable cargo solutions by land, air, and sea. Whether it's a package from across the world or a large shipment of goods, TDC Shipping makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free. And with our Airbox service, ordering from your favorite online stores just got even easier. Ship straight to your mailbox and let TDC Shipping handle the rest. Fast, secure, and even to your door. Visit us today at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Park or Penny's Industrial Site, or call 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis. TDC Shipping, where reliable service meets unbeatable convenience. TDC, together we succeed.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put your Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Okay, welcome back. And we do have a caller online. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hi, good day to you, sir. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to the nation. And I just wanted to peace to all.
Definitely. For you and your family also, the best of 2025 and beyond.
Thank you very much, son. I bless God. Good health for our nation. I just want to say everything was good, and I hope persons listen to the messages of the different political leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I want to pay attention to is the one from the People's Action Movement, Natasha Books.
Okay.
Speak of a lot of things that the People's Action Movement have tried to do for the nation. And also for the New Year's message. I haven't heard or seen the rest messages. I think I saw one from the Premier of Nevis, but the one for Natasha Books, the People's Action Movement political leader, is a very promising one. And it speaks to economic development and so forth. I don't know if you get a chance to see what I do.
Somebody sent me, so I haven't read it, but it's dawn of a new era.
Right. And therefore, there is hope. And all I want to say as a candidate and one of the deputy political leaders for the People's Action Movement is that let us make St. Kitts and Nevis prosperous again. And that's the motto of the People's Action Movement going forward. It might seem far, but the election is not too far away from now.
Okay.
I just want to put in the minds of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, we just finished Carnival and celebration. That might be good, but life still continue. The management of the country still needs to be done. And people's lives to want to see changes, positive also from an economic point of view. And I think our political leader would have set out the tone for what the People's Action Movement want to achieve. And therefore, I'm asking for persons who believe and could feel and know that there is better that can be done and to make St. Kitts and Nevis prosperous again. This is a prime term now. We want to make St. Kitts and Nevis prosperous again. Let us give our political leader, Shannon Books, and her team
support
that opportunity to make St. Kitts and Nevis prosperous again. We want all hands on deck for this. Yes, we're going to do our best at this time to encourage and so forth, encourage the business leaders and the business and so forth. But you know what? The government has to be helping in that. And therefore, the People's Action Movement under Shannon Books is more than willing and able and capable to make St. Kitts and Nevis prosperous again and to get the program that we have set out. So I don't know if you have any questions for me before I go. I'd be more than happy to.
No, I'm going to present a point of view. Okay? Working in the tourism industry as a tour guide, I drive people from many parts of the world. Okay?
Yes.
I've had guys from Antigua who've praised our infrastructure in terms of the quality of the road, etc. Now, these were done under a former administration. We had folks from Barbados recently wishing that they had our management in Barbados. We know Barbados is the most indebted country in the region to the IMF. And that's why I was trying to point out to a previous caller, you have to be optimistic. Our glass is half full, not half empty. But to the point you're making, when you say we want to make St. Kitts prosperous again, the infrastructure that was put in place by the former administration is what these people are praising. The quality of the roads, this and that and that. Now, it takes a while for it to degrade. So I'm hoping that the current administration can continue with the maintenance of those roads because one of the biggest selling points. Going down the Bay Road, you pass the market, that road needs addressing. So the catchphrase is to make St. Kitts prosperous again. We were at a time when we were really moving forward. Things have changed. The economy, for whatever reason, is not as vibrant as it should be. I understand the message. It says St. Kitts and Nevis look to a future, promise planting the seeds of transformation. Beautiful. So I don't have any questions at this point, but I'm in agreement with what was there before and what we're hoping can be not only replicated, but to continue the economic development of our country in terms of the infrastructure, the housing, all the various things that made us not dependent on going to the IMF.
I want to say something before I go, is that the foundation of this modern St. Kitts and Nevis was laid by the People's Action Movement. 20-somebody years ago, because it was from 95 when the Labour administration came in. So from 1980 to 95, the foundation for the advancement and the prosperity of this country, economically and otherwise, and even the individual prosperity, the personals, were laid by the People's Movement. And we want to do that again. But we cannot do it unless we get the support of the people. And I'm asking for the people to rally behind our political leader and our candidates to make sure we get it done. I know things are how it is now, and people are calling for change. And that is why I'm asking now, 2025, because we do not know when anything is going to happen. That is in the Prime Minister's hands. And therefore, even if you want to do it tomorrow in discussion with his cabinet, he can do that, because we are very close to the next election. And therefore, anything will happen between now and then. Because it's this year. This year should make 3 years, right?
Okay.
This year. August should make 3 years. So therefore, we're more than halfway through our term for that to happen. And I'm just calling the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to be mindful. We have our plans. You would have heard it from our political leader. And I just want to give the God thanks. I haven't heard of any injuries during the Carnival. It seems peaceful, but all what I heard was a lot of accidents. I'm just calling our people to drive carefully. Respect each other when you're driving. Respect yourself, because the life you save might be your very own. God bless you all. God bless Constituency 7. And I know back in the day, Constituency 7 used to lead the way by being prosperous. And as the candidate for that area, for the People's Action Movement, I want to make Constituency 7 more than prosperous again, very prosperous, with their help. Do you remember the phrase once upon a time, inner city? That was Molyneux, because the place was prosperous. The people in Constituency 7 are very industrious, get up with their business and do a lot of things. And I want to help in continue the prosperity in Constituency 7, spread it out, show St. Kitts and Nevis. And therefore, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you to your entire nation for listening to me. And
thank you for your contribution.
Shining the People's Action Movement, that support to make our country, St. Kitts and Nevis, prosperous one more time.
Thank you, Mr. Pell. Enjoy the rest of it. Okay, we do appreciate your call, your contribution to our program. Now, if we don't have this caller, you have this caller? Take us out on Freddie. One of the performers, Calypso, that I thought would have easily made the finals. To the point he was featured, he was the alternate featured on the show the other night. Freddie was awesome, so was Green Tea. So give us some Freddie to take us out, and then at the top of it, we'll break for the Win FM's Midday Newscast, and then come back and continue today's presentation.
From sunrise to sunset, feet and round the neck, jamming out sweet melodies, driving them woman crazy. Boy. You woman excited, the things that they're doing, the boom boom vibrating, and the pan man just watching. Whoa. The woman ready for action, red pants stand to top. See them women in the short looking sexy. They had the essence of the carnival. When pan man see them, they all do go crazy. When they shake their bumper, it's the way rock and roll. It is so amazing when they shake your waist. When you see them, let them go and boom boom all in your face. Boy. The woman ready for action, red man starts to jump. Get down for them, the woman excited, the things that they're doing, the boom boom vibrating, and the pan man just drowning. The woman ready for action, red man starts to jump. Get down for them, the sound of the pan. Woman and pan man. Remember one everybody greeting came crashing in town for the bacchanal. When the session done, he almost went crazy. Looking up and down to find his woman. He looked down an alley, as I understand. That is when he saw his babe kissing up the baseman.
Found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive live on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king. Please drink responsibly.
With the WinFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown. Our top stories. PLP leader issues call to action to citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis in New Year's Day address. Guyana's Vice President Jack Dio ready to challenge opponents of the People's Progressive Party. Special prosecutor gunned down in Trinidad and Tobago. Lawyers in DPP's office fearful for their lives. Internationally, brother of New Orleans terror attack suspect has said his actions on New Year's Day was completely out of character. Now the details.
I try to bring me down. Make them know them can't stop me. Hey!
Are you so wicked? Are you so wicked, wicked? Are you so wicked? Are you so wicked, wicked? Are you... Come on, tell them how you feel.
From the large crowds at the Soca Monarch to the sold-out attendance for the Jewel in the Ring at the Calypso Monarch, the 2024-2025 National Carnival is being hailed a success by Committee Chair Shannon Hawley.
Reports, the general consensus is that the entire Sugar Mass 53 season was a resounding success. From our sold-out shows in Carnival Village, the home of Carnival that we moved back to with a temporary expansion, from our street activities, in addition to our grand parade like yesterday, was a massive success. And this is based on reviews that we have been inundated with from spectators, from viewers online, from returning nationals, individuals, carnival lovers.
After just over 5 weeks of hard work and intense competition, the carnival reached its peak with the grand parade and last lap, where thousands of revelers and onlookers gathered in Bastille. The Ultra Carnival troupe dominated the event, winning the much-anticipated Troupe of the Year category.
We started our planning earlier this year because essentially we roll from one carnival to the next, and we really, I think that it showed, and it reaped tremendous rewards for the National Carnival Committee as well as the entire Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. You know, because when you hear people in your ear every minute, you know, with different phrases, you know, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that, you know, and then you realize, but, you know, we have a carnival sold-out panorama. Our Calypso competition, all of our vendors' physical tickets were sold out. Our Queen pageant had much more attendees than last year. Our talented teen pageant was sold out. So you tend to think, well, if... So results don't lie and statistics don't lie. So definitely you had parade troops being sold out early, right? And not only from individuals locally, but also people flying in for the Grand Parade.
Local festivities continue to be a staple on the regional carnival calendar. This year, one band even registered that over 60% of its revelers were international attendees.
Well, I really think that we're probably going to outdo last year. And one of the reasons for that is Lux, one of our international mass bands. You know, they've reported that 60% of their revelers flew into St. Kitts to play mass from
all over, not just the diaspora. And these were not just Kittitians and divisions returning home. These were people who have intermingled and intermixed with Lux on the international scene. And so they're bringing in, as I say, 60% of their revelers. I think that definitely, is an indication. We're still waiting on the official numbers, as you say, but that definitely is an indication that we've probably exceeded the amount of, the influx.
Both the Miss St. Kitts and Talented Teens pageant also exceeded expectations, each selling out its respective audiences. The Steel Pan competition, which was one of the most highly anticipated events of the Carnival season, thrilled fans. It was the EBJ Harmonics band that continued its dominance, claiming a 5th consecutive title. Carnival director Clement Monarch Ogaro emphasized that businesses also greatly benefited from the event, noting the positive economic impact on the local economy.
People are buying, stuff. They're buying gifts. They're buying clothes to wear to all these different functions. And in addition to the regular, businesses in town, small businesses, of course, over 150 vendors were also, built into our economic success as well when it comes to Carnival. And so, yeah, it's a big impact because, we're talking about not only just, big business, but...
The Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris, Member of Parliament and former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, delivered a New Year's address urging his compatriots to unite against the prevailing issues of crime, safety, and government incompetence as the nation transitions into 2025. In his speech, Harris expressed optimism tempered by frustration as he acknowledged the struggles faced by citizens.
I hope that for our people and country, 2025 will be a much better one of less hardships, less unemployment, less increases in the cost of living, less murders, less cover-ups by the government, less misappropriation and corruption in this government. I hear so many of you saying that things will not change under this incompetent and arrogant regime. This is only true to a point,
he declared, affirming a collective desire for improvement amidst pervasive discontent. The former Prime Minister's address critically assessed the current government's performance, which he labeled as
incompetent, self-absorbed, erratic, greedy, and corrupt.
The leader of the People's Labour Party pointed to statistics highlighting a projected deficit of $237.8 million for 2024, rebuking the government for extravagant spending that yielded scant benefits for the populace.
There is nothing substantive or substantial to show for this massive overspending. The water problems, for example, are worse than before, in spite of better rainfall. Our electricity bills are increasing every month, in spite of the frequent outages and their damage to our appliances, for which Skelec fails to compensate us. Our JNF hospital is in a mess. The level of avoidable deaths is startling, and our emergency service offers those seeking help an average of 6 hours wait. Misdiagnoses are high. At least 2 female medical doctors have taken to social media to alert the government and people about the dangerous situation at the JNF hospital. They reflected on the incompetence and the arrogance of the leadership in the sector and the general chaos everywhere.
Harris's speech emphasized the need for accountability, particularly concerning the handling of public funds. He alleged that citizens have yet to see tangible benefits from substantial government borrowing, spotlighting stalled projects like the long-promised Molyneux Primary School and the insufficient medication available at Mary Charles Hospital. As Harris articulated concerns about the deteriorating state of public services, he underscores the urgency of dismantling what he termed the scourge and relic of an authoritarian regime, presumably referring to the current administration's governance style. Further escalating the discourse, Harris highlighted the detrimental impact of governance failures on critical sectors. He articulated the implications of financial mismanagement and societal neglect, indicating that issues extend beyond mere fiscal deficits. The speech encapsulated a broader disillusionment with the prevailing governmental apparatus. It urged citizens to take action, similar to the biblical story of Esther, suggesting that unity and resolve are imperative to provoke change. Harris ultimately positioned the People's Labour Party, PLP, as a credible alternative to the current regime in his address. He recounted the PLP's past achievements under Team Unity, citing effective financial management and successful navigation through crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
The PLP in government successfully took us safely through the worst pandemic in a lifetime. We provided support to families with disabled members. We provided support to businesses and taxi operators. Significant reduction in corporation tax from a high of 33% to 25%, and a 50% reduction in the rate of incorporated business taxes. We provided income support of $1,000 per month to those who lost their jobs as a result of COVID-19. All of these efforts delivered peace and stability in the land that we love. We also provided unprecedented budgeted support to the Nevis Island administration and to our people in Nevis.
He expressed confidence in the party's capacity to foster a more substantial, safer future for St. Kitts and Nevis. Harris's invocation of hope thus served not only as a rallying cry for action, but also a reminder of the potential for transformative leadership that prioritizes the welfare of the nation's citizens over trivial pursuits. In summary, as St. Kitts and Nevis embark on 2025, Dr. Harris's address reveals challenges that encapsulate a critical juncture in the nation's governance. The call to action echoes within civil society as citizens grapple with political decisions, social and economic ramifications. Harris's emphasis on unity as a precursor to transformative change suggests collective engagement in addressing pressing issues of governance, safety, and long-term national development. In regional news, Guyana's Vice President Jagdeo ready to challenge opponents of the People's Progressive Party, Guyana News source reports.
With this year set to see general and regional elections, Vice President Bar Jagdeo declared that persons with political ambitions will have tough questions to answer once they declare their interest to run for political office. Mr. Jagdeo began his press conference by saying he plans to go hard against detractors and opponents of the PPP this year. He was later questioned about the political ambitions of well-known businessman Azruddin Mohammed, who released a New Year's address to the nation on his social media pages.
This is a free country, and anyone can contest the elections. However, once you declare your track record, the same way we face scrutiny every single day, we have to face scrutiny over a whole range of issues fairly and unfairly. I hope people are ready to answer tough questions and they would not go off crying that they're being targeted by those questions. they wouldn't become crybabies or cry their victim.
Mr. Mohammed, his father, and their companies were sanctioned by the U.S. government last year over claims of tax evasion and gold smuggling. They have denied the accusations, and the younger Mohammed has been leading a strong public relations push on many of his projects long before those sanctions were handed down. Mr. Jagdew said every person has a right to seek political office, but noted also that persons would have to answer for their dealings and face scrutiny like any other public official. A New Year's message from businessman Azruddin Mohammed has been seen by some as his entrance into politics, but he has not announced any political intentions. As it relates to the sanctions against the businessman and his father, President Irfan Ali has recently said that Guyana is still awaiting word from the authorities before it can proceed to take actions locally.
Special prosecutor gunned down in Trinidad and Tobago. Lawyers in DPP's office fearful for their lives. CNC3 has the details.
You know, sometimes when you think about how God has been good to you, it's difficult to keep back the emotions,
Attorney at law Randall Hector delivered a New Year's Eve sermon to a congregation at the Stanmore Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church in Port of Spain. And as he exited the church with his family to head to their vehicle, gunmen were waiting. Hector, 43, a former prosecutor in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and a lawyer in the Office of the Attorney General, then later transitioned into his own private practice. Legal sources said he had been contracted by the state as a special prosecutor to take on high-profile cases, including one involving an alleged notorious gang leader. He also provided legal expertise to the Strategic Services Agency, a specialized unit within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. At the scene on Stanmore Avenue, Hector's blood still stained the ground and many still asking questions as Hector became the last person to be murdered in 2024. According to police reports, Hector was parked on the western side of Stanmore Avenue near Albion Street when two vehicles, a black SUV and a Nissan B15 with unknown registration, pulled up alongside. Moments later, several loud gunshots were heard. Hector fell to the ground, bleeding from gunshot wounds to his chest. He was later transported to the Port of Spain General Hospital, where he died. Many in the legal fraternity are all in shock with the incident, with one attorney, Ian Brooks, saying that Hector was a humble attorney at law and confirmed that he was a special prosecutor in the case involving an alleged gang leader from Port of Spain. Otto Carrington, CNC3 News.
Following the assassination of their colleague Randall Hector on Wednesday, attorneys at the DPP's office say that they are afraid that they may be the next target. In a letter to Chief Justice Ivor Archie, Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard said his attorneys will not be at work for the rest of the week. The letter said the attorneys were traumatized by Hector's death. CNC3 News understands that attorneys who were at the office crying and too distraught to do any work. Gaspard tells CNC3 that he will be meeting with his attorneys tomorrow to discuss the way forward. He added that he will not comment any further until he meets with his attorneys. Gaspard had raised concerns about the safety of his attorneys when the government rented a building on Park Street for his office to relocate. After refusing to relocate, the government secured another building on St. Vincent Street for the office. The letter to the Chief Justice comes as the Law Association called for state attorneys to receive state protection. In a media release, the Law Association said given Hector's role in the administration of criminal justice, particularly now during a state of emergency, there is an urgent need for the implementation of security measures for all prosecutors and judicial officers in the criminal justice system. The association condemned the killings, saying Hector was a well-respected member of the legal fraternity. The association added that the objectives of the state of emergency cannot be realized without the fearless efforts of the legal and judicial officers who are engaged in the criminal prosecutions of violent offenders. Jensen Lavende, CNC3 News.
We now bring you these international reports.
Let's get more now on our top story and events in New Orleans with that interview by CBS with the brother of the attacker. I'm joined by the CBS reporter Katie Weiss, who is in New Orleans. And Katie, can you just tell us some more details about this interview that the network has got and what's been said?
Yes, it's certainly a question that's on everyone's minds when something horrific like this happens is, you know, who was this person and why could this have happened? Now we're finally getting some more information, some more details about this person directly from his brother. His brother spoke with us, did not want to share his name, but told us that he was shocked by what happened. He said that he originally, when he heard about this attack, he just assumed it was someone having a mental health crisis, and that it was maybe someone who was angry. He had no idea, never would have suspected that it was his own brother. Now, just for some context, he and his brother are 18 years apart, but we are learning that they did get closer recently due to some health issues in their family that someone else in their family was dealing with. We also know that the brother of this suspect says that the suspect was kind, caring, compassionate. He says it's a description that is completely opposite to how now the entire world is viewing this person, this suspect, who police say carried out this horrific attack that claimed the lives of 14 innocent people who were just out here on Bourbon Street trying to have a good time ringing in New Year's Eve.
And Katie, just tell us what he also says about whether the family saw any signs of what was to come, any signs of radicalization.
No, as far as the brother has explained so far, he said there were no signs at all. Again, more reason for his total shock after learning what had happened. He says that, in fact, quote, he grew out his beard and he became more modest in his dressing, but that was really the only kind of, you know, small sign that he noticed at all, if anything. He also said that essentially, quote, nobody seen anything like this coming, end quote. So really the brother tells us that this seemed to have come out of left field.
And Katie, I know CBS has also got another interview with someone who knew the attacker from his army days.
Yes, so this is an army buddy of the suspect who also spoke with us. His name is Trevor Neal. He lives in Cypress, Texas. Remember, the suspect is from Texas. He rented a car and drove to New Orleans to carry out this attack specifically on New Year's Eve or early morning hours of New Year's Day. Trevor Neal, though, the Army friend who served with the suspect, says, quote, I was floored. I bucked up and I couldn't talk for like 20 or 30 seconds. Was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. That's a direct quote that the friend had to say. Another quote, he says, yesterday, I couldn't believe this. I was floored. He says that his friend was a, quote, normal individual, no red.
The early morning arrival of thousands of police in the streets surrounding the official residence of impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol signaled the start of an attempt to arrest him. But his continued protection by the Presidential Security Service always meant this would be a highly contentious operation. For hours, investigators faced off with bodyguards in what were described as sometimes physical confrontations, to the condemnation of Yoon's critics.
By witnessing today's events, the people of South Korea would have affirmed the pettiness of Yoon Suk-yeol.
But the security service has accused the investigators of breaking into high-security areas and injuring its officers. Meanwhile, Yoon's supporters have been holding bigger protests nearby against this investigation and his impeachment by the National Assembly.
Everything is so from the National Assembly. They are doing it all wrong. They are illegally they do.
I suspect there's a conspiracy here that goes beyond typical left-right political logic.
Declaring martial law is within the president's authority, and saying they'll detain him for it is nonsense.
On Friday, the Constitutional Court held its second preparatory hearing into Yoon's impeachment, which will likely be decided in the coming weeks.
I have no doubt that Yoon will be removed from office. The Constitutional Court will, I think, decide pretty quickly to confirm impeachment because this case is very clear case, and he violated the Constitution, and the entire world saw it.
Exactly 1 month since the martial law declaration, the political crisis it created shows no sign of easing, especially with this standoff at the official residence of the man who declared it, remaining inside and refusing to answer prosecutors' questions about it. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
We want to talk about a small area of eastern Moldova. Their New Year celebrations were put on ice, quite literally. The separatist enclave of Transnistria remains loyal to Moscow. There's Russian troops on the ground there, and its economy is fully dependent on Russian gas, which comes free. But access to it comes via a transit route that passes Ukraine, and that path was cut in the early hours of New Year's Day. An agreement which was signed in 2019 between Kyiv and the Russian energy giant Gazprom expired. The Ukrainian president refuses to extend it, and so the taps have been turned off. For now, only hospitals and critical infrastructure in Transnistria are being heated, and there is concern over electricity too. The main power plant in Kurchagan is already being fueled by coal instead of Russian gas, but the authorities say there's only enough to fuel it for 50 more days. I don't need to tell you that this is the coldest part of the year too. With us is Martin Vladimirov. He's director of the Energy and Climate Programme at the Centre for the Study of Democracy. Thank you very much for being with us. What more do you know about the situation in Transnistria, first of all, and why are they particularly vulnerable?
Thank you so much for having me. Transnistria has always been fully dependent on the supply of Russian gas through Ukraine, but it's important to note that Gazprom announced that it's going to cut off the supply to the whole of Moldova before even the transit agreement with Ukraine expired. And this move is right out of the Kremlin playbook of creating instability and taking advantage of the over-reliance on one supplier in order to wield political influence. It's a very crucial moment. Moldova can get enough natural gas to Transnistria via an alternative route, the Turk Stream, but it will be more expensive, and Gazprom is not helping out. Gazprom wants the situation to go off the rails in order to blame the central government in Chisinau for the potential humanitarian crisis in Transnistria, because the situation is really bad. I mean, the breakaway province has started cutting off heating to some consumers, and the situation is going to go from bad to worse probably in the next month or so.
What sort of temperatures are we talking about at the moment?
Well, they are around freezing, but Moldova is famous
so there's millions of families who are on the edge here. Would the government in Chisinau want to send gas to Transnistria? What is the nature of the relationship at the moment?
Well, the Moldova proper government has always tried to facilitate natural gas supply to Transnistria, even when it doesn't get paid for this supply by the breakaway province. It's a very strange symbiotic relationship in which Transnistria provides 70% of the power supply to the country, to Moldova in general. So Moldova doesn't really have a choice but to ensure the gas supply to the breakaway province. Its potential alternatives is to import electricity from Romania and from Ukraine. But because Russia has been bombing Ukraine's energy infrastructure, the country doesn't have really access generation of electricity. So Romania is the only choice for Moldova, and Transnistria becomes an even more important kind of a relationship for the country, for Chisinau. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the whole idea here is to give kind of talking points and disinformation narratives to pro-Russian parties and oligarchic networks within Moldova that would shift the blame to the pro-EU government of Maia Sandu. The country is trying desperately to get away from the Russian orbit and to move closer to accession to the EU. And there are parliamentary elections coming up in July this year.
So it's the same. It's the same playbook as in Georgia, then.
Absolutely. The Kremlin always uses similar tactics. It's about leveraging, a strategic supply agreement, leveraging control of energy infrastructure, control of strategic infrastructure to basically destabilize the economies of these regions. Georgia has experienced something similar, Armenia as well. We have seen similar tactics in Belarus. Before the full-fledged invasion of Ukraine, the Kremlin was regularly cutting the supply to Ukraine as well, quoting certain debt, issues and quarrels, which were always exaggerated, and no compromise was sought after by Russia.
It's clearly a very cynical tactic.
Very typical.
It's clearly a very cynical tactic when you're talking about such an energy-rich region. Just very quickly, if you would, obviously. Ukraine at the moment takes some of its electricity from Slovakia, who are pretty annoyed about the fact the gas taps have been turned off, the gas they receive through Ukraine. So what is the tit-for-tat situation there? What effect might that have on Ukraine?
Well, it's important to point out that the security supply for Central Europe, which was based on the transit of Russian gas for Ukraine, is safe. Over the last decade, the region has worked tremendously on building up its connections to Western Europe, to LNG facilities on the Baltic Sea and on the Aegean. So there is no problem of getting alternative gas. The problem is for Slovakia is that they're going to lose roughly 500 million euros in transit revenues, which is the main reason why Slovakia has threatened to stop the power supply to Ukraine. But this is probably a bluff. Because under the EU energy competition rules, this would be a severe breach of the law, and probably Slovakia would face significant consequences from the European Commission. So I don't think this would actually happen, but it was a last-ditch effort by Slovakia to pressure Ukraine into some kind of a deal. Let's not forget the Slovakian government is very pro-Russian, and Slovakia is one of the most pro-Russian countries in terms of...
more instability than at the beginning of the year. Martin, thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you for coming on the programme.
US President-elect Donald Trump has called to open up the North Sea and get rid of windmills. He made the remarks in a post on his social media platform Truth Social on Friday. Oil companies have been steadily exiting the North Sea in recent decades. Production has declined from a peak of 4.4 million barrels of oil equivalent per day at the start of the millennium to around 1.3 million today. Trump's post was in response to a report about US oil and gas producer APA Corp's unit Apache's plans to exit the North Sea by the end of 2029. It comes after the British government last year said it would increase windfall tax on North Sea oil and gas producers. The government wants to use the revenue from oil and gas to raise funds for renewable energy projects. North Sea producers have warned that the higher tax rate could lead to a sharp drop in investments and are exiting from the ageing basin ahead of the new tax increases. The North Sea has seen major wind farm development by Britain and European countries, but the rapidly growing offshore wind sector has had a tough few years. Costs ballooned due to technical and supply chain problems, as well as higher interest rates, leading many companies to review investments.
You were listening to the Midday News on WinFM 98.9. The headlines: PLP leader issues call to action to citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis in New Year's Day address. Guyana's Vice President Jack Dio ready to challenge opponents of the People's Progressive Party. Special prosecutor gunned down in Trinidad and Tobago. Lawyers in DPP's office fearful for their lives. Internationally, brother of New Orleans terror attack suspect has said his actions on New Year's Day was completely out of character. Thank you for listening.
That was the WinFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Caribbean.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Hortsport's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Hortsport's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
.39 is the time, and we are back about to get into the second half of today's presentation of Voices. My name is Socrates, and we've had some fun with the first half this morning, a little chit-chat between Jamster and I. We ended the first half of the presentation with a piece of the Mighty's Freddie song, and awesome. We were questioning whether or not he should have made the finals. Different story for a different time, but it happens. Now, one of the things I like to speak about, and I won't spend a lot of time on this, on Carnival Day, I was driving from Port Zante heading towards one of the beaches, and I noted 4 accidents within a 4-hour space of time. 4 accidents. We know that during the Carnival time, music festival, we have more drivers on the road, and one has to be extra cautious. The first I noted was at the entrance to TDC up on the road. Somebody was probably coming out. I didn't see it happen, but obviously somebody was coming out, and this, bam, that was the first accident. Leaving there, heading east on the John F. Kennedy Highway, there was another accident, a 3-car, we won't say a pile-up, right? But hit from behind. This was on New Year's Day. Carnival Day, the day of the right? 3-car collision. About halfway, you know where the guys sell the coconuts along that drive there? About maybe 200 yards on. Left that. We get down, I would say, adjacent to Pirate's Nest. You know Pirate's Nest? Beyond where Ramsey building there, another accident. This one involved a taxi driver and a private-driven vehicle right in the vicinity of Drewberry. Another accident. You know? Went on to when I came back, there was another accident where heading west in the Martin Heights area. And it's all mainly, well, the one in the Frigate Bay, that was, I understand, a driver was overtaking 2 vehicles. At the same time, one was coming up from the road there by Drewberry, and there was a collision. So there was nobody seriously injured, right? Because we had lots of traffic on the road, and guys were overtaking and this and that. 2 days ago, I'm heading west on a tour. And the intersection where Mr. Lindsey Graham would turn off to go up to Forest State before you get to the railway thing there, there's a Jeep ahead of me, a pickup truck ahead of me, indicating a right turn. So I'm mindful of that. A little red car wants to overtake me. So I'm hitting the horn. You know, the pickup ahead of me had to pull up and not complete the turn. If not, there would have been a hit. Well, somebody would have gotten hurt because that car was flying. It was flying. A little further on now, a vehicle pulled out in front of me in St. Paul's. So I had to slam on the brakes. You know, I might guess someone like, what the hell's going on? Got it. They've seen all these incidents.
Oh, so guests were in the vehicle at all these times. What? I'm here thinking by yourself, but wow.
Oh, I was on tour. So there were 2 incidents that could have ended in serious accidents, except that one has to drive for the other person. I got to St. Paul's, and the guy in the red car who had overtaken me is there like watching me like, what's going on? And then there's another guy now parked in the road, right there by the, there's a shop there, it's got a bakery in St. Paul's, before you come around to where the former Prime Minister lived. So I can't pass. So I hit the horn, he comes out, telling me, Socrates, it's because of you, big like saying Crown King. You're supposed to go in and quick, see what happened, see what the crown. I said, fella, you know, and he's shouting at me. So my guests don't really understand what he's saying. But the fact I was laughing, you know, my peer system, it brought some ease to them because I'm laughing with the guy. And I said, fella, move the thing I want pass. Say, because you, yeah, it's a big like saying win. So obviously he had in a few drinks. So who know better? Know that when you're on the road driving, especially at this time when we have lots of visitors, you have to drive for yourself and the other person. You have to drive for yourself and the other person. Whether they're inebriated or not, we have some crazy drivers on the road throughout. But around Carnival time, I tell you, in a speed of, say, 4 hours, I noted 4 accidents. You know, nobody injured. I saw a lady being hugged, being reassured on the John F. Kennedy Highway where that accident took place. Of course, she was obviously shaken up. You know, but we need to do better.
Did the guests, did they have any comments about?
Well, I dealt with it. You know, I spoke to them. Oh, we have a little accident up ahead. You know. And but the one in St. Paul's, fella with no shirt on, come out and cussing me, Socrates, because of your big light. But he's joking, right? Because everybody's laughing. But the guests wouldn't understand what he's saying. So because I started laughing back at him, fella, I just want to pass. It was cool. But I'm thinking he should not be driving. So even now, people still enjoying the spirit of Carnival, Christmas, New Year, etc. And lots of folks have come home to celebrate. So even when you're driving, what's the normal routine thing for you, you have to be mindful. We've seen some people overtaking us and breaking their paces, and you're wondering, well, fella, where you going? But fortunately, we've not had any fatalities for the year, nothing that I know of, and we want to keep it that way as best we can. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about, I always like, because me and my co-host for Island Tea, because of her job, she talks a lot about the feedback she gets from the guests. So I wanted some from you. You'd like to hear some of the things that the guests
in terms of the tourists?
Yeah, what they say about St. Kitts.
Well, I mentioned earlier.
Bad and good, yeah.
When I was speaking about, after I was commenting on what Gregory had said, I believe in the philosophy that our glass is half full. I take pride in driving around St. Kitts, Nevis. I was coming up from Sunny Point this morning. I stopped to give a young lady a drive. I said, it's another beautiful day in paradise. And sometimes the guests complain when they hear and it's raining. I say, hey guys, no rain, no food. They've traveled, they spent thousands to come for sun and the sand. And the time is raining. But I said to them, guys, no rain, no food. Yeah, we understand. But the overall feedback from the experience in St. Kitts, and I would say especially with the interaction of the tour guides, is really, really positive. Last week, I took some guys, a family, probably about 8 or 10, from Port Zante. They wanted to go to Frigate Bay. We have 3 beaches, technically 3 beaches. And I dropped them at the end of Timothy Beach Hotel. And they asked, will I come back for them? I said, okay. Your pickup time, we estimated a pickup time. If you don't see me within 5 minutes, take a next taxi. They said, we'll wait for you. Right? And I went back and they were there and they were raging, no, we have to come back. We only have a couple hours here, but we really have to come back. And they were genuine in the compliments of the experience. The beach is great. The atmosphere is great. Our people are very welcoming. You know, and that impresses me. 9 out of 10 times you get a good, positive reaction. Timothy Hill is a major selling point. It's like a wowing moment. Okay? On my tours, I explained to them, we're going to first go to the more historic side of the island first. And then later on, we'll see the more recently developed side. Okay? Because some people don't feel there's value down at Black Rocks and driving to the villages. I'm saying this is how we live. Look at our housing stock, etc., etc. Where we came from, where we are now, where we projected, because I don't sell the whole victim thing that we were slaves and this and that. We went to an experience, we've overcome. We are a developed nation. We have voting rights at the UN. Oh, yes, we have voting rights. They don't know these things. Some still ask, what country are you? We are a former British colony. We have been independent as of X amount of years. We have our system of government, though fashioned after the British parliamentary system. We have our Prime Minister. We have a Governor General. And explain to them, so they understand we are modern functioning democracy. Okay? But the feedback from them, just about after every tour, is good. I'm at Port Zante, and sometimes they come back and they point to the driver, oh, he's the best. This driver is the best, he's number 1. Which says is consistent across the board. Our drivers, we're not just taxi drivers. We have to explain to them, your taxi driver is a trained and qualified tour guide. They come off the ship.
And you know, that's a good point to make.
And you ask them, you want a taxi? They don't want a taxi. They want to go on a tour, but you're giving them taxi. Taxi in their culture is from point A to point B.
Exactly.
So we have to let them know your quote-unquote taxi driver is a qualified and trained tour guide. And so when they come back, because some of them come with, I would say, very low expectations. We exceed that. So the feedback from our products, St. Kitts, from the crews, they report that. It's positive. It's like 99%. You'll have the odd incident. As a matter of fact, we have an issue, a report of a particular driver, whose name I won't mention. he took some folks from the Frigga Bay area to the show there, the Calypso final night. When I was leaving, one of the security guard asked me, could I take these guys back to the hotel? I said, okay, no problem. The guy reported to me that the driver charged him 40 US. It should be 20. Charged him 40 US and told him after 7 o'clock the price is doubled. That's a hustler, that's a thief. And I was able to explain to him what you do next time. Look for the ID of the person when you have questions and you report it to whomever. So I was able to explain to him, we apologize, that should not happen. I heard since then that this guy is known and he's doing it. So we have the one-off, but generally, the report about the level of service of our drivers or taxi drivers has been very, very commendable in terms of their impression of St. Kitts, because some of them don't know much about the island, the tours, the interaction with the tour guides. 99.9% of the time when they come back, it's praising the drivers. He or she is the best driver, the best experience. Let me talk about myself, which I don't really, but as we're on the discussion, a travel agent told me about 2 weeks ago, this is the best tour I've ever had. On that same tour, there was a chap who's been here several times before. He said, listen, this is my 3rd time here, but I didn't know so much. I didn't learn so much. But there are times some drivers are skilled in their presentation. But generally, St. Kitts ranks above everybody else in the region. Because I have Antiguans who tell me, like, hey, you roads are better than Antigua, Barbados a couple of weeks ago. We have plenty of potholes in Barbados. So I am very, very proud of what we have. So despite whatever problems we may have, economically, development is going to change from time to time. Sometimes you're up. What song was it? The Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. You marched him up to the top of the hill. And when you were up, you were up. When you were down, you were down. When you were only halfway up, you were neither up or down. My glass is half full. And so some days you go out there, you don't really make it. But at the end of the month, based on the roll of the dice.
Is there any, how should I ask this? Okay, stay over versus cruise ship guests. Is there any
stay over have a higher
difference?
spend.
Okay.
They may take a rental.
Mm-hmm.
They may take 2 or 3 trips by taxi from Frigga Bay to town. They're going to spend. They're here for, you know what I mean? And they hit tax at the hotel. All that impacts. Restaurants, etc. So their spend is much, much greater.
Than the cruise ship.
Yes. All the cruise ship passengers. Well, just about everybody travel on credit. But if you're here for a week, as compared to here for a day, automatically, you take a taxi from the airport, that's a cost. The return, that's a cost. Whereas a tour, take her around to a beach, etc., and they're gone. But we have that small window to impress them. Okay. We have the infrastructure. We have a very beautiful island, both St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah.
Some want to take the water taxi to Nevis. It happened yesterday. Where you guys take a taxi down to, and when you come back, you can arrange your pickup time. So we have that interaction, which we explain to them. Arrange your pickup time from the beaches or wherever with the same driver that way. And we operate a lot on trust. We say you pay at the end. Sometimes you go to the beach, leave a group there, come back for them at 2 o'clock, they're gone. They haven't paid yours yet. we find those. As a matter of fact, yesterday, a guy tried to scam me. And I showed him, you so have the receipt that says it's $7 per head. It's 7 of you. How come it's $35? He gave me 50 euros, says 35. I said, no. It's 49. But he knew better, but he tried something. So we find those. So one has to be careful with them. But at the end of the day, it's our job to break the ice and let them know you're in paradise, you're amongst friends, and they leave with a very good report. That is why we have a lot of repeat businesses. People come back. We've been here before. I was here 20 years ago. I was at Jakarta, you know what I mean? And they come back with the memories.
Well, I have a story for you after
Station break?
Call. No, after there's a caller.
We have a
caller.
call?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, good. They call you live on Voices.
Socrates, Jamster, good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
All right, blessed in Jesus' name.
Definitely.
I forgot to mention, but let me tell people this at the top of the call. If you die without Jesus Christ, you're going to end up in hell forever and ever. Only the blood of Jesus Christ can save you from your sin and from hell. Through faith only. Now, secondly, something of lesser importance. You know, we love to say that, you know, St. Kitts and I guess Nevis is doing so good because so many others, including a lot of Caribbean islands, are doing worse than us. Well, really and truly, that is not really a compliment to us. That is really a condemnation to the other Caribbean islands because the Caribbean islands are full of hopeless leaders. They're full of bad and hopeless leaders, the Caribbean islands. You know, so when we compare ourselves to other Caribbean islands and we're doing better than them, it ain't because we are doing good enough. It's just that we are not doing as bad as them because their leaders are even worse than ours. You know, the country have higher taxes, higher government expenses, more regulations on the economy and that sort of stuff than ours compared to ours. But it's like it's like you have a football league and you have first division, second division, and third division. And because we are in second division and doing so good in second division, we feel that we are top. No. You celebrate when you're doing top in first division. So, yes, so we're saying we are doing so good compared to other Caribbean countries. Like I say, it's not a commendation to us. It's not a good thing.
Okay, you want to hear my point of view?
It's worse. Yeah?
You want to hear my point of view?
Yes, of course.
I wasn't saying that we're doing better than any other country. That was not my position. But take this into consideration. We're all in the tourism basket, so to speak, right? Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, by some extent, etc.
Yes.
Take 100,000 tourists. Send to Jamaica in the month of May. Take the same amount, 100,000 tourists, send to St. Kitts in the same time frame. I guarantee you that the economic impact would be felt much greater in St. Kitts and Nevis than in Jamaica. It's a larger territory, you have a bigger population, have a much larger infrastructure to maintain. We being smaller are poised to benefit much greater from the same spend, so to speak. And so when we compare our development to other larger countries who are struggling, I mentioned Barbados is the most indebted country in the region to the IMF. But they have more resources than us. But in the tourism industry, if you take 100,000 tourists, send to Barbados for May, and send the same total here to St. Kitts in the same time frame, we will see the economic impact much greater. As if we can better handle our infrastructure, our roads, our healthcare, our education, etc. That is the equation I'm looking at. Not that the ministers or the government are worse performers than us. I'm not looking at it that way.
Well, you see, the reason why we are doing better is simply for that reason. The government have burned down their economy with much more taxes, with much more government regulations than ours. So because of that, that is why they're doing worse than us.
I didn't say they're doing worse.
Doing so good enough.
I did not say, and that is not my position.
I know it's not your position.
Because in some areas, they perform better than us. In other areas, we outperform them.
They perform better than us in sports, but I'm talking economically. And it is a shame because Jamaica, for example, have far more natural resources than us, bauxite and all sort of stuff. Not only that,
who controls it?
Hello?
Who controls it?
It's in the government. is the government. And not only that, because it is nationalized, but not only that, Jamaica is more known over the world than us. They have a bigger name over the world than us. They are a household name all over the world due to sports and all that sort of stuff, Holt and so on. And yet, and they get more tourists than us, and yet our economy is doing better than because the government there has burdened down the economy much more than us with taxes.
You're
and
simplifying
regulations
things.
and so on.
You're simplifying things as it relates to Jamaica, especially.
No, but it consists of all the world. Same thing with Guyana. Same thing with Barbados. Same thing with those African countries that are way bigger than us and have more resources.
As
than
I
us.
said, you're simplifying things. There's a lot
But yeah,
more.
but it is
There's a
simple.
lot more ongoing that affects their development. Their foreign corporations, their foreign governments still, when it comes to neocolonialism, how they're affecting the resources of these countries.
But we had neocolonialism too. Hong Kong had neocolonialism, but you find constantly all over the world, the more a government burn down the economy with taxes and government regulation and government control and that sort of stuff, is the worst they do. That is why, like I come back again, Miller in Argentina, that is why Argentina now is seeing a turnaround in the economy, in economic growth, decrease in poverty and that sort of stuff, because Miller is taking off these government shackles of the Argentinian economy. You got taxes, even though he kind of, in some places, did raise, he also lowered taxes in other areas. Government regulation, that sort of stuff, took off of the economy. And that's why, for example, you're seeing, Argentina now having a turnaround, because the government before had a lot of government shackles and the economy. Taxes, government regulations, control, that sort of stuff. So it's a constant thing all over the world. And like I keep on saying, you do things the Bible way, you will prosper. You do things contrary to the Bible way, you will suffer. And that's the evidence we're seeing all over the world. So
you're saying that the private sector, well, small business, of course, should be the main engine of growth in any society. But you're saying that the private sector should have more control. Do you know the employment stats for in the private sector as those compared to the government?
You mean we are saying it is concerned?
Yes.
No, I don't know the stats per se, but what I do know is that the government employment is increasing. Obviously, that's why I looked at the government numbers are increasing when it comes to employment. It is growing.
So they should get rid of PAP and those programs?
Well, they should. They should. And
what about the crossing guards?
The crossing guards, those things should be in private hands.
Okay.
Those things should be in private hands. Those things should be privately run. The private sector do a far better job with these things. And not only that, you lower government expense. You make life easier for everybody. Like I said, that is one of the reasons why now our economy is turning around.
The education system?
For the better. Hello?
The education system? Privatized that too?
No, in Argentina?
No, here, St. Kitts.
Yes. Education,
healthcare,
road,
fire services
sort of stuff should be privatized.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see over the world where these things are privatized. We see over the world they offer better services.
I see.
When our government, when people in our government, the people who have money, you think when they want healthcare, they go to our hospitals?
Do you think in the U.S. they want to privatize the healthcare system to be better?
Far better, but that is what we see all over the world.
In Canada?
Privatized healthcare.
Not in Canada?
In Canada.
Not in Canada.
Let me tell you what goes on in Canada. In Canada, the people in the government healthcare do recommend to people that they go to private hospitals and so in Canada.
We're not talking about what they recommend. The government healthcare program is what runs Canada.
Because that is the most. But the private healthcare in Canada, people prefer to go to the private healthcare
I don't know
in Canada
the facts.
than the public one. In Canada, if you reach 70, you ain't getting no cancer treatment and so in Canada. Not only that, clinics and so, government clinics and so in Canada don't open on the weekends. Like here, whereas the private ones opens on the weekend. Not only that, the waiting list for the private healthcare in Canada to get treatment, to get examination, is the gap in time is far less than the government one, because the government one in Canada, you take months just to see a doctor for health examination and that sort of stuff. So Canada, so in Canada, people prefer, like other countries, to go to the private hospitals and so than the government one when they're able to.
So
it's common all over the world. In Nigeria, the same thing. Nigeria, all over the world, the same thing. People, where you have the private hospitals, private clinics, so people prefer to go to them than the government one because you get far better service there.
So government should not be running healthcare. I just want to get you on the record. Government should not be involved in healthcare. Education.
Biblically speaking, yeah, based upon the teachings of the Bible.
National security.
Not.
National security.
Not. Hello?
National security. They should not be involved in that.
Yeah. Okay. The duty for government biblically, okay, is for government to punish evildoers, to approve of those that do good, and to be spreading the kingdom of God. So punishing evil, government justice is under the government domain, biblically speaking. But when it comes to your security and that sort of stuff, you is the main person, not the government, but you're supposed to be the main person who's supposed to be providing your own security with being properly armed and that sort of stuff.
So government role is to punish.
Teachings of the Bible. Hello?
Government's role, according to you, is to just punish perpetrators?
Punish evildoers, that is administering justice, approve of those that do good, and be part of spreading the kingdom of God all over the world.
Okay.
Those are the three functions of government in the Bible. Everything else is the private sector.
Okay, let's establish this. I was not saying that we are better off than any other country in the region, and that is a result. Huh?
Well, we are better off than a lot of them. We are better.
And I am not saying that they're worse off because they have bad government.
Worse government than us?
Well, I'm not saying that. That is according to Gregory. But that is not what I was saying.
Yeah. Well,
I was asked a question, was the feedback from a guest about a federation, and I was speaking about the positive. The positive. And I gave you a formula why we can be more economically developed because of tourism. We are smaller. So 100,000 tourists in Jamaica won't have the same economic impact as 100,000 tourists in St. Kitts with a much smaller population.
Yeah, but Jamaica get far more tourists than us. And yet, Jamaica have a worse economy than us. So you need more than tourism. You need proper biblical.
Jamaica has a much larger population, much more to govern and deal with in terms of their infrastructure, their healthcare, their education, social services. We don't have that at the same level as Jamaica. So our economic... Okay. How do I break it down to you? I think you understand, eh?
No, but what I'm saying is that Jamaica economic situation is worse than us. That's why people would prefer quicker to come to live to St. Kitts from Jamaica than a Kittitian going to Jamaica to live.
Our minimum wage is higher than that of most in the region. Our minimum wage is higher than most in the region. Jamaica, St. Lucia, Dominica, etc. You understand that? But I do have to pause for a station break, so wrap it up for me, please.
Yeah, but when it comes to minimum wage, there are the Chuckies and Jasons of economics. That's what minimum wages are. Minimum wages are, the higher you carry the minimum wage, the more you cripple your economy.
Okay.
Because
I got you, but I say we do have to pause for a station break, okay? So let's continue this after. Thank you for your contribution. Jamster, take us down, please.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Hortsport's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Hortsport's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
In the old days, when it comes to music at Carnival, it was fascinating in so many ways. Woman used to admire the pan man. From sunrise to sunset, deep and round the neck, jamming out sweet melodies, driving them woman crazy. Boy.
Hey. Two cards, and Freddie brought down the house. Unfortunately, he didn't receive the judge's nod, and he was featured as the alternate on the night of the finals. And I thought he was great. I thought he easily qualified. His pan of green tea also, I thought they were better than last year. I was very much impressed with them, but then the judges had a whole different take on the show. Many Calypsonians are people who take part in the various competitions, get so much discouraged, depressed, this way they will never re-enter these competitions. I would advise, and I would first thank all those who made a contribution in any little way to our national carnival. It's something that goes back to our emancipation celebration. Even though some of us don't really understand why we celebrate Carnival, so-called phrase, it was as a result of us getting emancipation on the 1st of August, 1834. We no longer here in St. Kitts Nevis celebrate our Carnival, our emancipation, in around those dates. Tortola does it, Anguilla does it, and Antigua, they all celebrate around August. But whereas we in St. Kitts celebrate, we want to thank all those who take part. We want to thank those who come home diligently every year. They used to come home for the Christmas, because for us, Christmas was family time. That morphed into a carnival. And so the Calypso shows, the pan competition, as a matter of fact, the pan is back with a bang. We want to say congratulations to the it's now the Bank of Nevis, EBJ, Harmonix. They won, I think, for the 5th consecutive year, the Panorama. That is something that one has to applaud, because pan was on the way out, and these folks have really put it back on the map. Park was packed with folks who came out to support. So we want to thank them for bringing that element back, that element back into Carnival. The Queen pageants, the road march winners, the band winners in the costume, etc., etc. Some people have their various opinions as to the costumes, etc., how our ladies present themselves. I ain't touching that. All I know, we had a great carnival. Some people, wife tell them they can't go in town because they want to watching the costumes, so they have to stay home. They miss the whole thing. We understand that. But we had what I would call, based on what I know, an uneventful carnival in terms of negative things that could have happened. And we look forward to a healthy, prosperous 2025 and beyond for our people, not only here in St. Kitts and Nevis, our nationals out there in the diaspora, those who are able to come home and really have a nice time. And those who joined us from around the region, like back in the day, we used to go to Antigua to take part in the summer festival. I think we have a product that we are very much proud of. I saw an article a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. And it says, no double salary, no dividend, yet Christopher Martin. No double salary, no dividend. PM Drew's tough decisions contrast with Christopher Martin's easy decision for lavish gala. Then there was one that related to what's the guy name? The one who's got the thing in his face there. Vibes Cartel. He is on the ticket. Someone questioned how can we afford these artists? We're paying mega bucks for them, but we can't pay double salary. I ain't getting into that. All I know is a marketing tool. The music festival. It was designed as an additional marketing tool during the summer months to get people to come to St. Kitts and focus, etc., etc. It's got its issues. Many folks have the issues. Some folks don't go because as a St. Kitts Nevis Music Festival, you don't feature much of the local artists. You don't promote them. And at the time that we feature our local artists, it's like 7 o'clock in the early part of the evening. So people come out later on to see the big acts, don't see the local acts. That is a different thing for different time. But these festivals help to market our federation in a very big way, being a tourism destination. So I applaud the overall efforts that goes into it. There are sponsors who come aboard to assist with paying these acts. I don't know if the country makes any money, but there are times you get the mileage that you really, 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 really need. So I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon that says no double salary, no dividend, but Christopher Martin. You put a quality product in place, and people from all over the world, whether they can fly in, they log on, we get the marketing, the country benefits. For me, Socrates, the glass is half full. The glass is half full. No government will be able to do everything right. You can't please everybody. Whether at times they get critiqued in song, etc., I think they learn. And when you compare to the region, we are still a zone of peace. And the country will have the economic challenges. We know where we came from, what we are facing. So we have to be a brother's keeper. We have to scratch each other's back, not compete and compare in a negative way. I was speaking about the reaction of persons coming to St. Kitts. When I go to Antigua, I have a great time. When I go to Trinidad, I have a great time. I enjoy it there. Right? It is said that a tourist paradise is a native hell. Now, we know that recently an state of emergency was declared on Trinidad. They've had 600 murders this year alone. We are much smaller. We've had, 30-something? And we scream out as we should. As we should. But throughout the region, there is no yard better than mine. I go to Trinidad, I have to be very careful. You have to be very security conscious because of what is happening. Anywhere you go, you're going to find that. But we have to take what we have. Learn to cherish it. Learn to respect it. And contribute in whatever little way you can it doesn't matter which side of the political divide you're on. As far as I'm concerned, it is our product. It's our St. Kitts Nevis. And we have to cherish it. And don't let anybody come from anywhere to bash and tell us how bad things are in St. Kitts. I'm not going to listen to you. Because perhaps where you come from, things are worse. I've heard people who come from other territories come to St. Kitts and talk about how this and that. Hey, fella, go back home, no? Go back home. But while you're here, you're going to respect my little federation. Some of the guys are full. So we didn't get a double salary. The dividend didn't happen, but that shouldn't determine the rest of 2025. All right? I would have hoped we started on a good note. I wanted to get some positive feedback. The projections. How was 2024 for you? What are your plans for 2025? Not maybe the resolutions, but as a country developing. You know? We hope that our leaders can do better in terms of the management. We've heard a lot of talk about the frequent flying out there and how they're doing. Let's hope that it brings dividends. Who knows? And as we move forward for 2025 beyond, even in the tourism sector, it's not as vibrant as it used to be. The minister said to us last year, well, the former season, that the next season will not be as vibrant as the one before, but it's surviving. It's surviving. Some days chicken, some days feathers. We're going to be all right.
The fact that the Ritz-Carlton people think it best to put a Ritz-Carlton here should say something.
Well, that was the negotiations started with the former Minister of Tourism, Lindsey Grant, former administration. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
And there were some challenges over at Fries Bay with the vendors who were there. The question is, are you going to move up the vendors because they make their livelihood on the beach? And I think that was part of the delay in working out whatever the current agreement is. So it speaks of confidence in the destination. It's not because of the current administration. It started before. The ban plays on. So now that they've come to an agreement, we're hopeful that they've signed, and they can start. The target date to open is what, 2028? Let's hope I'm here. Let's hope it's still hit.
The opening when?
Huh?
What did you say about opening?
2028.
So when it's going to start this year?
Going to start later on this year, but the target date for opening is 2028.
Wow. Okay.
It's a 3-year project. It's major. And the location, now my imagination is wondering what's going to happen to the pond there because it's a natural bird sanctuary.
But do we know how many rooms it's going to be?
I don't have the details, but the brand itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right
so
now,
that's going to be comparable to Park Hyatt, right?
Yeah. It's higher.
Yeah. Okay.
The brand. I have a event planner.
Mm-hmm.
She takes groups all around the world. And the challenge you have with St. Kitts is that Marriott is not at that standard for her guests. There's a high-end clientele. She's been here several times as an individual, but I shouldn't mention it, the current standard of hotels. This is before the Park Hyatt came into being. The one that we had here is not up to par for her clientele. So the Ritz-Carlton, I know from our conversation, would fit that bill. So the name alone, given its branding to St. Kitts, it's a major, major thing. It's a private development, but they have to go to government. So maybe Gregory don't like the whole idea that the government will be involved. But of course, they control the tourism industry. This is a tourism product. And we have a caller? Okay, good day, caller. You're live on Voices. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Hello there. You're live on Voices. You're on radio.
Go ahead, caller. Maybe he's having trouble hearing you.
Okay, there may be. Okay. If you have a chance,
sounds like Africa.
Please try again.
Okay.
We
caller, go ahead. Caller, go ahead. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Socrates?
Speaking, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. I'm calling someone Brimson here. Well, I could not miss it out. I had no idea that you was going to be on the program today, but be that as it may, the time is of the essence.
Yep.
And I just call to wish everyone according to the Gregorian calendar, this is supposed to be January the 3rd, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so for those traditionally who would want to bring in a new year according to that calendar, I wish all on Sanji the best for the new cycle, and may prosperity and good fortune be their companions, and all the best. I have a lot of things to say, so it's few and far between when you get on the program, because we're in the season, the cruise ship season, and that is where we ply our trade. So, but whenever the time arises, you're going to hear a lot from me.
Okay.
Thanks. I just wanted to sound my voice and let everyone know that I'm here.
You're still here. You're still alive and kicking. Had a little mishap, but you're moving forward.
Yes.
Okay?
Exactly.
I want to thank you for reaching out again. I actually called your name this morning on the program. I was saying thanks to all the folks who contribute and make the show possible, so your name was also mentioned. I don't know if you heard that. But you appreciated, your contribution is valued, look forward to. So thank you for touching base with us here at Win FM. That was good. Let us know you have things to talk about. He's in the tourism industry, so when you get a chance, he was unaware I'll be on today. So overall, Jamster, we have about 2 minutes before we wrap things up. And I once again want to thank all the folks who were part of the Winifred family, making the call, the contribution. I haven't heard from a few for a while, but it's going to be good. It's going to be all right. Let's hope 2025 works out a lot better for folks who thought that 2024 wasn't so good. My philosophy, once again, some days chickens, some days feathers. My glass is half full. And people ask me sometimes, well, how you look so good at your age? I say, hey, it's all about being contented. Don't take on the stress. And I've learned as I've grown older to, knock some things off your shoulder. You take on things, the politics, all the different things. Before you know it, you have so many problems you're dealing with that you don't really, really need. Okay? So school reopens when? On the 6th, I think. Or is it tomorrow?
Oh, no.
Monday?
It's Monday.
Monday?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We want to wish the teachers, they had a wonderful time. They were well represented on stage with the current reigning king. He spoke about the teachers. They need a new deal. We wish them best. They are our educators. We look forward for their contribution to helping to raise the children. Well, in the classroom, the parents is their job, but the teachers play a very vital and fundamental role in the development of our children, thus our country. So, Minister of Education, I hope you listen to the song again. The people said they want a new deal. The teachers, I spoke to one yesterday, and they are in agreement with the sentiments expressed in the song. They need to be better respected. What was promised to them was not delivered. They want a new deal. You have it out? You have it queued up? Take us out on that. And
Which one? Which one?
The New Deal.
Oh,
King.
that again. Okay.
Yeah, we want a new deal, so we have to honor the king.
I'll do the live one this time.
Okay, do that, please. Appreciate that. So, guys, want to wish you peace, love, and continued health and prosperity in 2025 and beyond. Listen to our winning king. Get yourself a new deal.
School children say teachers working hard but not spare. It's true. We hand to mouth, mouth to hand, but show up each day. Trying so hard to make an end, can't even mark with a pen. Is this the life of honest men, or is it life of a pig pen? Don't get me wrong, this is just a song. Michelina say and open day, the old days are gone. Cause we need a to give our teachers confidence. We need a to pour into our students. Show me a better plan in this blessed land for all their children. Let them write me up and say, we deserve a new day.